Okay, David. So a 2-0 defeat against Leek Town today. An improvement from Monday, but what was your thoughts on the game overall?
A huge improvement on Monday. I thought Monday was embarrassing. We talked about at the time we didn't work hard enough, and that's the very least you expect. The first thing you need to do is work hard. I thought we worked hard today. I thought we matched Leek all over the pitch. It didn't really feel like a 2-0 game. The big difference was they forced a couple of errors. They just put balls into good areas and two very, very good finishes. We didn't. We just didn't get the ball into those areas often enough, and the odd time it came, we didn't get the rub of the green. You know, Potts' little flick that hits his standing leg, maybe a handball that was late on. We just didn't quite get the rub of the green, but we need to learn from it because we need to do what Leeds did, what Cone did to us when they went 2 up. We need to put balls into areas, force errors, be more relentless, and force keepers into making more saves. I don't think he made a save today, other than maybe one from his own defender's header.
How much of a sting did it take out the game? It was a pretty even game in the first quarter, and then it, it wasn't just a goal, but a very good goal. Did it take a sting out of the team when that went in, do you think?
I think maybe a little bit because we'd had a couple of half chances before that, and it was a good goal. It was avoidable. I thought we could have dealt with the long ball better, and then as we got back in to defend our box, I think we all got back into the box and left a couple of men on the edge to in space. And you know, he was a good touch and a good finish. Don't take away from that, but we could have been tighter and made it harder for him. So I thought a little bit, but then I still think in that first half we kind of huffed and puffed, and I thought we were we were very even. We just lacked a bit of composure, a little bit of quality, or a little bit of desire to put the ball into the area and get bodies in around it to force the errors.
You said before we got some balls into the box towards the back end as we went, probably after we were 2-0 down. Is it just a question of keeping on going and keeping on putting the balls in and eventually getting something from it?
Partly, but also the quality's got to be better. So if you look at the number of crosses we did put in, probably only 3 or 4 of those were crosses that were in between the sticks. I'm really big on putting balls in between the posts and people going attacking it, and a lot of our crosses were very deep, which is, you've then got to get first contact and second contact usually with those, and we didn't have we didn't have the bodies in there for either of that. So I think the quality's got to improve as well as just putting balls in, but we've got to be happy to put balls in. If we do that, then players should be making the runs. At the moment I think you've got a bit of a catch-22 of players aren't making the runs in there because they're not expecting the ball, and players aren't putting the ball in because the players aren't in there. So we've said to them, put balls into areas, players make runs. If you're making the run, the ball doesn't come in, tell your teammate that it's not good enough. And equally, if you put the ball in, there's no bodies in there, tell your teammates it's not good enough. We need to demand more from each other.
Picking out a couple of players today, Mason Fawns got pulled at half time last week, but put in a proper shift today and had a bit of quality as well today.
Yeah, Mason was unlucky to come off at half time the other day. It was a change in shape as well as personnel. He was the obvious one to come off, given where he was playing. I don't think he was the worst player on the pitch in that first half last week. I could have easily taken multiple players off. But we know he's got quality, and we just said to him, dropping in that slightly deeper position, he had to work hard, and I thought he did. I thought he harried, he chased, he closed down, he picked up a bloody nose for his troubles. But when he got on the ball, he tried to create and tried to make things happen. I thought some of his link play in the first half was very good with Banny and Freddie, and we nearly got in a couple of times from that. And second half, I thought he was the one who was picking up good spaces and delivering. So Mason's a good player. We just need to unlock that, and I think today we saw a bit more of the real Mason.
Freddie came off with an injury today. Any update on that one?
A little calf strain, a bit precautionary. I don't think it's a bad one, but we didn't want it to become a bad one. Nicky's comfortable at left back. He's played a lot of his football on at left back and left midfield, so it wasn't a difficult thing for us to do. And JB came on. I thought did well when he came on. Actually, his range of passing, asked a few different questions. So it is a squad, and we have got players who can cover in those positions. So we'll see where he is tomorrow and make a decision for Tuesday.
And a word for Dale Latham today is picked up an injury, not 100% fit, came in, not much he could do about both goals, but made some good saves again.
Two keepers want to save those goals, both in off the post, great finishes. Dale's done us a massive favour today. Dale isn't fit. Dale wasn't fit on after last Saturday's game. That's why Jake played on Monday. We have moved to bring a keeper in on loan, but the paperwork wasn't all done and approved by the relevant authorities in time, so we couldn't play him today. So Dale stepped in and couldn't kick. It's a big problem when you've got a keeper who can't kick, not just because of who takes goal kicks, but you can't go back to him when you're playing. So a few times midfielders or defenders looked to make funny decisions today and play themselves into a bit of trouble, and it's partly because they were trying to avoid going back to Dale to look after him and protect him. So Hopefully the paperwork's sorted and we've got a keeper in for Tuesday. We can give Dale a couple of games, couple of weeks off, let his injury get right, and then he's back in, because he's been excellent. We know what Dale brings in terms of calmness, in terms of leadership and authority, and shot stopping today. He made a couple of excellent one-on-one saves. So, but we need to get it right. If you've got that problem, it kind of sets the tone a little bit. I'm very big on little things being right, and today, a keeper who can't kick, our kickoffs weren't good enough. There were lots and lots of little things that just need to be better. And if we get those better, it's that incremental improvements. We'll be better everywhere. We'll create more chances. We'll score more goals. We'll win more games. So, yeah, it's frustrating.
And we move on to Tuesday, Trafford away. What are you expecting from that one?
They'll be busy. They'll be industrious. They'll be hard working. They've got some quality in Tom Bentham. It'll be a tough game. Trafford are a good side. I thought Trafford last year were very, very similar to us in lots of respects. I don't expect them to be any different. We need to be better. We can't go away licking our wounds and feeling sorry for ourselves. We need to be better. We need to demand more from ourselves and from each other. The players need to realise in this level that the hard work that came today, that's the first part of it, but then a bit more quality and a bit more desire to go and lay a glove on the opponents. I thought today we were a bit passive. I think that sums us up. Passive. We just let the game happen. So we need to impose ourselves on if we want something from Trafford.
Thanks, David.
Cheers, Nathan.